us Aye Maestro. You can also call him Counselor Sama, who is already, live, indicating that I am live. Thank you so much, Counselor Klaus Aye Maestro. We'll be taking the program this afternoon. Production room, it is Joel Dintem. Am I correct, Joel? Good afternoon once more, those watching all over Cameroon, those watching in across the African continent. You can trust NG Television when it comes to territorial coverage. And those watching through the social media page to other countries, other countries out of the African continent. We want to say welcome on board the program. Meet the marriage counselor and the relationship coordinator. Happy Saturday, happy everything. We wish you all from this and all the best of smiles and the best of everything. That said, we want to say to all those who are doing Adususwa today, those who are taking the oath of marriage today, maybe at the level of the council, at the level of the church, at the level of the family, that's traditional wedding and so on, congrats. And of course, we wish you a happy wedding from the Zender. And of course, those who are, having it rough, they're already in the school of marriage or in the marital life, but again, not finding it easy. That's why we're here every Saturday, 3 p.m. to, actually reason together with you and bring the best of, solution to all your marital worries, cohabiting worries, and all that has to do with love affairs. And so you just call me Miss B or Lady B right now. You know what to do? Call me Miss B or Lady B. I'll give you a beautiful smile from this end. We don't have enough time because we have a lot to talk about today. So greetings to all our counselors, especially the last counselor we had here on set a couple of weeks back. That's Counselor Lizette Berry, all the way from Ghana, who was here live on set. And in a few weeks to come, maybe she will be taking the program live from Ghana. Good afternoon to you, Counselor Lizette Berry, and lots of all our other counselors. Miss B will always greet you all, but permit me greet only Counselor Lizette Berry this afternoon. Okay. We go to our file today. It's all about, I think we have Counselor Klaus to talk about this. And next week, let us give you the agenda for next week before we continue with what we're about to talk today. Guess what? You just start preparing for next week, ladies and gentlemen. She stole her parents' money, you understand? She stole her parents' money and gave me to go study abroad. And I have succeeded today, but I am wondering if I should still go ahead and marry a thief. This is serious. That's for next week. Just keep warming up, ladies and gentlemen. Quite tough. She stole the father or the parents' money and gave the boyfriend to go study abroad. Now the boyfriend has succeeded abroad, has really succeeded, but now he's wondering if he should go ahead and, marry a thief. So when she stole it and gave you, didn't know she was a thief. Anyway, I don't know, but that's for next week. So you take the agenda. As far as the program this set is concerned, ladies and gentlemen. And what are we talking about today? It's still all about, the televiewer who wrote to us also telling us, I caught my father sleeping with my elder sister and I'm scared of telling my mom. How do I handle such a situation? You will have Counselor Klaus right now. And then we will still come to that. But again, next week we have other files. Maybe we take them. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching, wherever you're connected right now, you can be a part of the conversation. Why not? Equally be a part of the question for the day. We're asking this afternoon, as far as discussion forum is concerned, numbers are in front of your screen. You can chip in your number or your contributions, if I must say. It's all about should a woman continue with the husband after discovering he's been having an intimate relationship with their daughter? I'm going to ask again, should the woman continue with the husband, continue with her marriage with the same man after discovering the husband has been having an intimate relationship with their own biological daughter? You understand? Their own, I don't know how to put it, their own daughter. your real child. What do you think about that? Numbers are in front of your screen. You can write to us, dear televiewers. Meantime, we take on, Counselor Klaus all the way from, Dubai this afternoon to do the counseling for us. But again, remember, I've given you the agenda for next week. So that's it there. What do you think? Should a woman continue or say, no, I can't really, or just, terminate the marriage? And so, what do you think about that? We hope to hear from somebody this afternoon. To this huge social media family watching the program right now, those social media, that's those on WhatsApp, those on Facebook, greetings to you all. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. As far as the program Marriage Counseling is concerned on NG Television, take this beautiful smile. Yeah, before we, start the program in full this afternoon. You may be wondering, why Miss B smiling? I just need to smile. What do you want me to do? I cry? If I cry, I don't think we're going to do the program right now, so I just need to smile. So no matter what situation, what atmosphere, what circumstance you may be going through right now, or what is happening, or what you understand, just, wear one beautiful smile there for me, please. You understand? Good afternoon, Counselor Klaus Ayemestro, all the way from Dubai. We'll be canceling the program this afternoon, or our televiewers this afternoon. Hope you're doing just so fine there.
Greetings to you, Lady B, and to all the wonderful viewers of NGTV television. I want to say it's as well time to be in your midst this day, and I'm doing pretty well, even though my spirit it's not really good because of the issue we are dealing with today, which is the case of a father who is, I don't know how I can call it. Is it insulting, abusing, or committing an incest with his daughter, which is a very bad thing. But notwithstanding, we are out here for solutions. So that's why we're coming to give practical counseling to such an event or such an occurrence or such a happening in a society which is not acceptable by every standard. But everything being equal, still paribus, Lady B, we're out here to give a practical solution to such, an incident which has occurred, and we believe the people out there will be rest assured to get the best of counseling from us this day. Thank you.
Klaus Miesto, thank you so much for that, word of encouragement there to our televiewers. Okay, wherever you're connected, if you're watching right now, you may not be this writer. Maybe you're having a similar situation, just like what we're having in front of us today. You can write to us. Numbers are in front of your screen. We go take them, and of course, we give you the best of counsel from the Zen. Should a woman continues with her marriage after discovering the husband has been having an intimate relationship with their daughter? That's the question for the day. And as far as the topical issue for today is concerned, it's all about televiewers who wrote to us. I caught my dad sleeping with my elder sister, and I'm scared of telling my mom. What do I do, or how do I handle such a situation? So that's it there. We go take Councillor Klaus with the first question this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And the first question we're asking this afternoon, dear Councillor Klaus, we have a lot to talk about. Permit us just go pretty fast this afternoon, dear televiewers. Let's start with the person who caught them right-handed in the act, dear Councillor Klaus. What is the first thing, the right thing to do, you understand? And who is this person he has to talk to, you understand? So I want us to really start with the person who caught them in the act. Maybe they're already in the act, they feel comfortable in it, they don't see how they can move out, but they need help, and someone has already caught them into the act. But now this is a member of the family. Pretty difficult to handle such a situation. Now, what is who is that first person he should talk to? That's the first question. And I want to also believe his life is in danger. Mind you, maybe wisdom has to be applied now, because he can go telling daddy, daddy, I caught you into this act, sleeping with, big C's, and his life could be in danger. There are some fathers who may not want such an incident to extend, to other neighbors or other family members, and his life may be in danger. So I want to believe it should be a strategic way to look for someone to talk to, or find someone very confidential to talk to. What do you think about that, Counselor Class? A word may be of great help to him.
Lady, I can imagine the trauma this guy must have gone through after observing, viewing, seeing such an atrocity committed by his own father with his elder sister. Oh my God, what a demonic act. You know, he finds it difficult to even tell his mom because he cannot believe in his widest imagination that his own father and elder sister will commit such an atrocity. It is unheard of. Who does that? But everything in life has the way it goes. Seeing these, the shock that he goes through, it's something that he cannot just go immediately and share the information with anybody. He's supposed to like calm himself down, like what he has done. It's a good son. He went directly to the media house to seek for solution to these atrocity, which I believe it's not starting now. It's something that has been going for a very long time. It's always been said that drops of water makes an ocean. For this to have gotten to the extent where the sister, that's his elder sister, is very much comfortable with the situation at hand, it means she's already used to it. It's not the first time it's happening because if it would have been the first time this is happening, she would have like be screaming or making some kind of resistant move, which that was not the case because if that was the case, this guy immediately would have tried to help his sister, but finding it being, in a form where there is cooperation between the both parties, that is his father and elder sister, is really insane talking about this. But I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, it's something that we really need to trash. As a counselor, you face so many situations of this magnitude where you just have to, put in your best without any remorseful nature, even though you have that human nature to be remorseful when you hear such a thing. But you have to calm down yourself and try to see how to handle it, because if someone brings something to you and the person is shocked, you as yourself, you are as shocked as the person, then at the end of the day we ask the question, who is going to give the solution? So now you're asking that who will this guy report to in such a situation? I want to tell you that this guy has every right to go to somebody. Like, he went first to the media house, which is good, but I will tell you that the media cannot go ahead and face the father. That's why it's been put out this way for counselors to give a practical solution to this, which will be a lasting one. The first thing he's supposed to do is everybody on earth have that particular person they are scared of apart from God Almighty. And somebody like me, I have people that when I hear their names being mentioned, I kind of lower down my armors and my I don't know, my protective shield. I lower it down because I know the respect I have for these people. And whatever they say, I give a listening ear because I know the part that they play in my life. Same like this father, he has such a person in his life or persons that he listens to. So this guy should look well, study his father. He's going to find such a person. And once he realizes or come to know who the father respects more, he should go to that person, sit the person down, and then talk with the person about what is happening. And I believe this person will go a very long way to help this family out of this situation. The mother might not be able to handle it because she is scared of her own security. Some men are very tyrannic when it comes to home. You don't dare talk as a wife. How dare you? Are you okay in your senses to talk back at your husband or try to call him to order when things are not going well in the family? He's going to beat you up like nothing happened, blue, black, and yellow, and nobody will even hear of anything happening. And the mother herself will sometimes be shy to even go out to tell anybody about it. So situations of this magnitude call for a higher degree of trust and a higher degree of privacy.
Thank you so much, Counselor Klaus Ayemiesto. Well said there, ladies and gentlemen. We were, asking who is, is that person that this, writer can talk to? How can we help? And I think I like the last word there. Someone to in whom he has, a high degree or higher degree of trust, you can talk to that person. And so, dear televiewers, if you're watching, you may be in a similar situation, or if you are that writer who sent this file, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you should do. Find someone you need to talk to. The counselor said something very important there. This is you wrote to the media house. The media can do the counseling at the level of the media, but again, you will need to talk to someone. And who is that person? That's my interest this afternoon. It's someone your father can listen to. Your father, can tremble a little, when the name is mentioned. Someone, so there must be a way out. Thank you so much, dear Councillor Klaus, for that wonderful wonder. We're still on the file, ladies and gentlemen, but again, if you have something to say, maybe to chip in line with what the councillor just said there, you can send it. We write through, the file again with this other question, dear Councillor Klaus. Now, many girls may be going through this, kind of, situation, yet lack the courage to talk. Now, a girl suffering these and is unable to speak out, due to, we know the various reasons, due to fear or maybe threat, stigma, shame, you understand, and so on. What is that strategy she can use to be able to break the silence and come out of this kind of situation, come out of this kind of curse, come out of this kind of, trauma? I want to believe there should be, a strategy she can use, because it's not easy as an individual to be able to break the silence and speak out that this is what is happening, this is what my father is doing to me. So what's that, other strategy you can chip in for any lady out there who is going through this kind of situation and yet cannot speak out?
Yes, Lady B, it's not something which you can see it's happening only in this particular home. There are so many homes out there that girls go through, sexual abuse from their fathers, or be it their siblings, or be it, neighbors and strangers, and they are scared to even mention it to someone else because of the fear of stigmatization, or the fear of ridicule from those who are going to hear of the incident. Take back in 1984 in Austria, where a set man had to kidnap his own daughter and locked her in a basement for 19 good years. Hmm. This life is dangerous. And in the course of that, they had 7 children. Somebody will have 7 children with his own daughter. And when you come to realize that what pushes this man to do this, you'll be so mad to even listen to such a thing. That because of his upbringing, his childhood experience from his mother, his mother never wanted to have him, and he grew up in that, maltreatment and suffering from his mother, and which made him to be a tyrant. He sees women as, a threat to him. Even though he got married, he used to beat his wife, maltreat his children, and there is one thing they have in common, these people who abuse their daughters. They love this particular daughter more than the other siblings. There is that particular touch, soft touch they have for this daughter, for this particular child. And it's different from the way they treat others. So you ask me the question now, what should they do in such a situation where they are being molested by their father? or someone who is like a relation or close to them. It's very simple, you know. Everything that happens in dark doesn't like the appearance of light. The only way to cure darkness is to bring light. And like I said before, there is somebody, this particular person who is molesting you is afraid of. It can be a pastor, it can be a school teacher, it can be your mother, it can be your father. You know, there is that particular person. It can be your grandparents, it can be your aunts, it can be your uncle that can help you out of this situation. Staying quiet and dying in silence will never help you. You find a situation where a girl will stab a man to death. Okay, take for instance, this girl is fed up with what is happening and decides to take the life of her own father. What will be the caption of the story? Girl murders her father in cold blood. And people will go ahead to conclude that this girl is very wicked. How can she kill her own father? She's fed up. She was fed up with what has been transpiring in the house, and nobody could help her according to her own imagination. But there is no problem without a solution, my dear. If you're out there and you're facing the same situation that this girl is going through, it's high time you talk out. Talking will save you more than the disaster that will be going on. And so many things will happen in your life that you were unable to meet up in future. So many things will happen to you that you cannot control. But the moment you open your mouth and talk out to someone, then be rest assured that a solution is going to come your way. Never you die in silence. Anything which is not worth living with, it's better you expose it and set yourself free. If this father is that type that doesn't have anybody that you can like run to and ask for help, it's better you go to the police. The police is always your friend, no matter what people say about them. But one aspect about the force of law and order is they will always try to help. They will always try to look at your problem and see how to solve it. If the person who is molesting you is difficult for you to handle, and the person is so influential that you feel like there is nobody around that can talk sense into the person, the best solution, you run to the police station, you report the case, they are going to take down your statement, and they will look for a solution to help you out. This man must be arrested. Like the case in Austria I was telling you about, if you go online and you search and you're going to see how it all transpired. The police had to take total investigation and they came out with a lot of evidence that made this man to serve life imprisonment. You know, the law will never, I tell you, accept this type of atrocity. It's a rape. It's an incest. It's not heard of. It's not allowed. So never you sit comfortable and relax and say, no, it's my father. Let me just allow it to be because I cannot expose my father in public. No, dear. No. Never you let it go free. Because it's your future we're talking about here. And if you let it slip by, your future will be destroyed. And when your future is destroyed, I bet you, there's no reason for you to live. Just imagine you're doing that, and in the course of it, you're committing abortions. You get married, you're unable to bear children. Who are you going to blame? Are you going to tell your husband that my father was doing this, was doing that, and in the course of it, you cannot say to your husband, you'll be moving from one church to another, or from one hospital to another, looking for solutions, whereas you know the cause of your problem, but you can't come out. So it's high time you speak out and set yourself free, and life will be worth living for you.
Thank you so much, dear Counselor Klaus Aye Miesto. Lady, you just have to speak out. Whoever is watching, you may not be the same lady we're talking about. You have a similar situation. It's high time you speak out. You don't have a choice. Why do you have to speak out? You don't have a choice. You must express to someone because it's all about your future. Your future is at stake. You may end up, missing everything if you do not talk to somebody. Thank you so much, dear Counselor Klaus. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, you are on NG Television, the program Meet the Marriage Counselor and the Relationship Coordinator. We are on, a televiewer who wrote to us, a couple of weeks back complaining. I called my dad with my elder sister, and I'm scared of telling my mom. How do I handle such a situation? If you were in the position of this man, what will you do, dear televiewers? You can chip in, you can as well be a part of, the question for the day we're asking. Should a woman continue with her marriage after discovering the husband has been having an intimate relationship with their own very daughter? You understand? I don't know how to put it, their own born daughter, if I must say. But Miss B or Lady B put it that way. So that's it there, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about that? Now, dear counselor, I also have another preoccupation here as far as this file is concerned. Now, sometimes we realize that a woman may be going through this, I remember the counselor last a couple of weeks back had to, made mention of the fact that most often, she even said 19%, that's 90% of, mothers whose daughters go through this with their own husband, they know, but they don't speak out. They are afraid to speak out. Some of them, maybe it's because of the stigma, or they want to cover the family shame. You understand? You don't want it to be, the family's name, or it's a shame to them. There's that cover up mothers will want to do. But now I have a problem. Should a woman in a situation like this continue with such a man? You understand? You're trying to cover up, you're there with the man, you're living with the man, but this is what is happening. Now, should a woman, in a situation like this, continue with such a man? And with her marriage, if I may say, after discovering the husband has been, having an intimate relationship with their own biological daughter, should there be room for forgiveness, or she should continue? Dear Counselor Klaus.
A mother, knowing such an atrocity transpiring in her house, transpiring under her roof, and decides to stay quiet because she's scared of disgrace or shame to her family, it's not doing any good. Just imagine you're a mother, you carry that child for 9 good months, and somebody in the name of your husband, it's a tough one, lady. Like I said earlier on, some men are tyrannic in nature. The girl can as well tell her mother or any close relation, but being who the man is, being who their father is, being who the husband is, being who the in-law is the type that you don't even dare to even question his actions. Because if you try to question his actions, then what is going to come to you will not be able for you to contain. Now, a mother knowing such an atrocity transpiring in her house, transpiring under her roof, and decides to stay quiet because she's scared of disgrace or shame to her family, it's not doing any good. Just imagine you're a mother, You carry that child for 9 good months, and somebody in the name of your husband who doesn't know what it takes to carry a child for 9 months and what it takes to go through labor to bring forth a child, who molest that child, and you are aware of what is going on every day under your roof, and you stay quiet. It's crazy. Just take, for instance, a mother hen with its chicks, and a hawk comes to prey on them. What does that mother hen do? She fights. That's what you, a mother, you, that auntie, or you, that relation, should do to yours. Fight, because such things do not happen on their own. A human being, you see, have two spirits operating within them. If you don't know that, know it today. There is always a good and a bad spirit in a man's heart, and he decides what to do at the point in time based on what the man give access to. If you give access to evil, evil will befall you. Sometimes we talk of the devil, the devil, the devil. Who is the devil? You are the devil. You are the devil. The devil lives in you. The devil does not have a body to function on its own. If you look down deep in the scripture, the devil is a spirit that needs a body to operate. And if you give access to that spirit, which is demonic, into your life, that spirit will destroy you. That spirit will destroy your family. So you as a woman, don't allow that spirit to control you, to tell you just stay quiet, don't expose your husband, it's going to be a shame, it's going to be a disgrace to your family. No. It's time to speak out, my dear. It's time to speak out. Expose him. It's not the end of the world. Expose him, and you'll be set free. Your family will be set free. Are you not enough for him that he will go ahead to molest your daughter before you, or to do whatever he likes at his beck and call? No. It's high time you stand up and stop it, because to everything there is a first time. Maybe others have been afraid to talk out, but you should not be scared of, exposing evil. No matter how strong wrong will look like, it will never outweigh the truth. The truth is bitter, but it must be spoken, I tell you. It's better you go to the police station if the family is unable to handle your husband. Go to the police station, report the issue, and it's going to be sorted out. He's going to sign an undertaking, if you don't want him to be locked up, that your life and that of your children will be secure, will be safe. In as much as certain things are happening, we have social welfare offices where they can handle such situations. If the police cannot handle it, you go to social welfare, you make sure you put everything down in writing, and it should be signed by both parties, you and your husband. And then you're going to save your family from disgrace. Because the disgrace, you're saying that maybe you're afraid to talk because of shame and disgrace from those who are going to hear about it. There is a way you can do it that others will never hear about it. It will end only in your family. Maybe where you're like ashamed to report it. You can go to somehow far from your locality or from your area where they can come and help you. Men are afraid of certain things that will bring shame to the family. That's why they do it in secret. But now, if you have taken that bold step to go ahead to expose it, to expose the man to the force of law and order, they are going to call him to book. It's your place now to say, no, I want my husband not to go to jail. I've forgiven him. I want it to remain only with him. But it will all depend on the law, if the law is going to permit him. But you just have to talk to somebody. You just have to talk. And that person, if it's not someone that can call your husband to order, then the last solution should be the forces of law and order. That's the police or the gendarmerie where they can seek law and then put your husband to his right senses, because that spirit that is in him will be beaten out of him. And then you're going to understand that man can control himself. And if a man allow a spirit to control him, it means he is giving access to that spirit, which he himself can turn and say, no, enough is enough. I won't do this again. And you should not be a sexual pervert in a situation where you go ahead to molest your own daughter because you allow the devil to control you. No, the devil doesn't have access to you unless you allow it to have. So you should take total control of your freedom and don't allow any possessive spirit, which is evil, to control you. And ladies, please, I'm begging you, always watch over your daughters. They should have privacy. Sometimes certain things happen because you expose them. You don't give them that privacy that they need. Make them to understand, especially when they reach a certain age, when they start experiencing their puberty, they should be careful. So, ladies, or aunt, or uncle, or anybody who is having a similar situation, please always take precaution not to stay quiet. Always speak out. Look for someone that your husband is afraid of that can help call him to order, and you will live in freedom.
Thank you so much, Counselor Klaus Ayemesto. That was good there. So, as a mother, you must speak out. You can go far away if you don't want to speak out around your locality. For fear of shame, go far away, but talk to someone. If there's no confidential person, get to the forces of law and order. Thank you so much, Counselor Klaus, for that brilliant wonder. Now, I want to believe it is not normal for a father to do this to his own daughter. You understand? Now, what are some of those things that will push a father to commit this kind of act with the daughter? Though the man is already caught in the act and he may be thinking that it's too late, you understand, to come out. He's already caught in the act, you understand. He may be thinking that it's too late to come out, but don't you think there is still a way out? And what is that best thing to do to be able to come out from such a mess? What's that advice you can give any father that's out there and is, going through this, but again, already caught in the trap, you understand, and he's thinking that maybe it's too late? No, there's a way out. Don't you think so, dear Counselor Klaus?
It's a tough one, lady. Like I said earlier on, some men are tyrannic in nature. The girl can as well tell her mother or any close relation, but being who the man is, being who their father is, being who the husband is, being who the in-law is the type that you don't even dare to even question his actions. Because if you try to question his actions, then what is going to come to you will not be able for you to contain. Now, a mother knowing such an atrocity transpiring in her house, transpiring under her roof, and decides to stay quiet because she's scared of disgrace or shame to her family, it's not doing any good. Just imagine you're a mother, you carry that child for 9 good months, and somebody in the name of your husband who doesn't know what it takes to carry a child for 9 months and what it takes to go through labor to bring forth a child, who molest that child, and you are aware of what is going on every day under your roof, and you stay quiet. It's crazy. Just take, for instance, a mother hen with its chicks, and a hawk comes to prey on them. What does that mother hen do? She fights. That's what you, a mother, you, that auntie, or you, that relation, should do to yours. Fight, because such things do not happen on their own. A human being, you see, have 2 spirits operating within them. If you don't know that, know it today. There is always a good and a bad spirit in a man's heart. and he decides what to do at the point in time based on what the man give access to. If you give access to evil, evil will befall you. Sometimes we talk of the devil, the devil, the devil. Who is the devil? You are the devil. You are the devil. The devil lives in you. The devil does not have a body to function on its own. If you look down deep in the scripture, the devil is a spirit that needs a body to operate. And if you give access to that spirit, which is demonic, into your life, that spirit will destroy you. That spirit will destroy your family. So you as a woman, don't allow that spirit to control you, to tell you just stay quiet, don't expose your husband, it's going to be a shame, it's going to be a disgrace to your family. No. It's time to speak out, my dear. It's time to speak out. Expose him. It's not the end of the world. Expose him. And you'll be set free. Your family will be set free. Are you not enough for him that he will go ahead to molest your daughter before you? Or to do whatever he likes at his beck and call? No. It's high time you stand up and stop it, because to everything there is a first time. Maybe others have been afraid to talk out, but you should not be scared of, exposing evil. No matter how strong wrong will look like, it will never outweigh the truth. The truth is bitter, but it must be spoken, I tell you. It's better you go to the police station if the family is unable to handle your husband. Go to the police station, report the issue, and it's going to be sorted out. He's going to sign an undertaking if you don't want him to be locked up, that your life and that of your children will be secure, will be safe. In as much as certain things are happening, we have social welfare offices where they can handle such situations. If the police cannot handle it, you go to social welfare, you make sure you put everything down in writing, and it should be signed by both parties, you and your husband. And then you're going to save your family from disgrace. Because the disgrace, you're saying that maybe you're afraid to talk because of shame and disgrace from those who are going to hear about it. There is a way you can do it that others will never hear about it. You end only in your family. Maybe where you are. Wow, lady. Anybody who call this as a normal something, the person must be insane upstairs. It's not normal, for crying out loud. It's an abomination for a father to commit such an atrocity to his own daughter. Mère de Dieu. uh, how will you even think of it? The child that you call her your daughter, and now you see her as your, I don't even know how to put it, your mate partner. It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. But it has happened, and there are so many causes to my best of knowledge and study that can lead to such a situation. Let's take, for instance, we look at the fact where in a home setting, many women, they let their daughters to be loose. Like I always tell my friends and those who come close to me, a girl child is supposed to have privacy, especially when she's come of age, when she has started experiencing those signs, those pubic signs of maturity in her. Like, I can't be calling them here because I don't know, there are some kids watching, but we all know those signs of maturity in a lady. Those are at the adolescent stage, when she starts developing those maturity parts on her body. You are not supposed to allow her openly. You are supposed to protect her, because those things sometimes move a man. And okay, take for instance now, you've not taught your daughter that it's good when you're going to bed, you should close the door, or when you're rubbing cream on your body, you have to close the door. Make sure you're the only one in the room on until you dress up before you can open the door. It's not a situation where she'll come out from the bath naked, walking around naked, or putting on some type of dresses. Those things do entice some people. There are people who can't control themselves and they will be like carried away with what they see. Because temptation is something that when it comes, some people, especially when they are perverts when it comes to sex, they don't have that mindset that, oh, this is my daughter, oh, this is my relation. They just have that like, I need to satisfy my urge. Okay? Secondly, possess. Some men are possessed. Okay? They say they have that addiction for something. It's not normal. It's a possession. They are being possessed by their spirit. They allow the spirit to take total control of themselves, which is dangerous. As a wife, I always put the blame on the mother of the house, because the mother of the house is like a governor. She's like a prime minister of the house. Whatever is taking place in that house, she's supposed to have 100% knowledge of what is going on. You're supposed to notice some signs of your daughter. If you have a little girl, like the case in Austria, this girl was 19 years old. She was 19 years before when her father started molesting her to the stage of kidnapping her and locking her in a basement, having 7 children with her. It starts from somewhere. Maybe the first day, you will notice that your child is not the same like she used to be before. What is going on? Studying her, you're going to find out that things are not moving the way they used to be. And you need to look for a solution. Those things, they can cause a man to be moved to do such a thing. And women also, I have plead with you. Always try to understand your husband. Sometimes men are crazy, yes, I know. But don't reject him in a manner where he will feel frustrated and he want to devour anything he sees around. There is a way you can make him to understand that you are not in the mood to do it, and he will be okay. He can go to bed in that manner. Because take for instance, you refuse him that night, and with that anger he leaves the room only to go maybe to spin around and find this daughter of his dressed half naked, or in a manner which it's kind of enticing. He'll be thinking, my wife is refusing me this, but it's flashy here, which is an evil. That evil thought start coming into his head. And before you know it, it happened once and it continues without the wife's consent. The wife is busy refusing him. Why? He will not bother because he knows he's getting it from the daughter. Until the day he will be caught, like the situation of today. If this guy never caught his father sleeping with his elder sister, he would have continued and nobody will know about it. Who even knows if it's not the first time or something happened before? It's a big problem at many homes. So women, study your home. Hold everything intact. Make sure you study your children, observe them. Follow up your husband. Don't allow things just be like, it's my husband, he loves his daughter very much more than the others. You realize that sometimes the treatment he will give to this particular child is different from the treatment of others. You have to be very observant. You have to be very careful. Levi, as concerning the situation of him already being in it and a way out, like I said before, the only way out is for him to dance to the rhythm of the drum that he started playing, he started beating, and he needs to face the consequences of his action. That is the only way out, to face the reality, to come out and plead guilty, because he's not innocent. In doing so, he's going to face the law, and the law is going to take its course on him, so that others who are out there will learn and understand that it doesn't pay to do such an atrocity. Don't allow it to take over you. And if you are doing it, you should stop. You should stop. Don't allow yourself to be caught before you start playing for innocent and trying to ask people to forgive you. No. You should stop it, and you come before God and ask for forgiveness for what you've done. It's very bad. It's an incest which is not encouraged. So our advice, ladies, our advice, parents who are having such a situation in their homes, to really seek the counsel of a man of God who is well endowed with the scriptures, and seek for that counseling, or look for a guardian counselor, a counselor who is going to orientate them and take them on some classes to come out of the bondage. Because it's not normal, I will say it again, for someone to do such a thing. So the best solution is to stop it. They say if this hand causes you to sin, you should cut it off. When they say you should cut it off, they don't mean you should remove this hand from your body. It means stop whatever this hand is causing you to do. You should stop it. Kill it. Don't say you are controlling it. No, you can't control it. You should kill it. Stop it totally and completely, and you set yourself free.
And you will set yourself free indeed. Thank you so much, dear Counselor Klaus, canceling the program today all the way from Dubai. It's a word to all those who are battling with this, families going through this. I think the only solution to this is to speak out. Don't cover evil. Expose. You understand? Expose. The counselor says if we expose, it is, in fact, exposure is a step to solution. Thank you so much, dear Councillor Klaus. Because we're already out of time, we just take this last question there. Councillor Klaus will be back again some other day, and there are more, things to talk about this to help a lot of families that may be going through this. And we just want to find out now, a girl who has gone through this kind of trauma may be finding it difficult to, interact in the society, to, feel free. What is that word of comfort you can give to such a girl that is going through this and yet cannot really understand? Any word of comfort there?
Yes, trauma. It's going to be the order of the day for this lady. I believe she's very young, and just imagine how going around will be on her. Her friends will give her names. Her neighbors will give her names. Anybody who comes across her and identify her as a victim of that incest will give her a name. But notwithstanding, everything happens, and sometimes you find it difficult to deal with it. The first thing I will tell her is to commit herself totally into God's hand. If she's not a Christian, she needs to give her life to Jesus Christ, to give her life to God, and try to do things which will take her mind off what happened. And she can't do it in the same environment she has been in. She's going to have a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma will be on her. That mind, that flash will keep on coming of the things that have happened. She needs to relocate. In fact, the entire family needs to relocate to, a new environment where they are not being recognized. That's the best healer for her. And when she moves to this new environment, let her be conscious of the fact that she's been set free, and what happened will never repeat itself. Let her engage into advising other young ladies on how to live a life free from abuse, a life which will not implicate them in future, because there are some things that ladies do and they forget the fact that what they are doing can harm them in the course of time. Dress decently. Don't dress naked. It won't help you. Instead, it's going to cause you more problem. You dressing decently won't mean you are not beautiful or they can't see your beauty. If you are beautiful, you are beautiful. No matter how you dress, that beauty will always be there. So don't dress naked because maybe you want to attract a man to fall in love with you. Like most ladies will say, you need to, use what you have to get what you want. No, that is not the best way out of it. Dress well, dress nicely, and you get whatever you want without you being seen as a cheap girl. Because when you dress like that, what attracts that man to you is what he is seeing. It's not who you are. But if you dress decently, you're going to realize that that man will come to you because he has identified something in you that he likes, not that he has identified your body. If he identifies your body, he will come for that body, and once he gets the body, he will dump you. So be careful the way you dress. Don't dress in such a way that will confuse a man's mind and he will be blinded by what you really have. You can be intelligent, you can possess some qualities that a man would like in a woman to make this lady his wife, his life partner. But when you blind him by dressing indecently, he's going to take you for what he's seeing and he will not take note of those qualities you have. At the end of the day, you find yourself being frustrated and you're being seen as a second class person because you have been destroyed. So, lady, I advise you, put everything in the hands of God, seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and you're going to have everything in life. Whatever happened to you before, it's in your past. You're a new creation now, you're born again, and you're a new person. Everything is starting afresh in your life. So move on, never look back, keep on going ahead, and you will enjoy life at its best.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a swell time indeed, like the counselor earlier announced there. We're out of time, but just thank you so much, dear counselor. Thank you. Maybe a last word there for our televiewers. Let's say ciao from this end.
Much for giving me this opportunity to talk to our people, and why not give some beautiful counseling out there, because the world can't be a better place if we don't have such people like counselors who are always waiting to chip in their best for a society to be a better place. I thank you once more, and thank the management of NGTV. And I want to say you guys are doing a great job. Kudos, more grace to your elbows as you keep on doing a great job out there. And a big salutation to all the wonderful fathers at home and all the wonderful mothers and kids and the world at large for being great. And I want to tell you that you should always be at your best, because your best will always make you outstanding in your society. A big shout out to all the medical doctors. I can't forget them for the great jobs they have been doing. And to the forces of law and order, I want to say you guys should keep on doing your great job. And to all the lawyers, be the legal practitioners and medical practitioners as well, not only the medical doctors, you have the nurses, the midwives, and what have you, the lab technicians. A big salutation to all of you. And of course, I want to say Salutation to my parents out in Cameroon and my siblings. I wish you all guys the best of the best. And I say, keep on believing in yourself. Whatever you do, trust on God, and God is going to make a way for you, because with God, everything is possible. There is nothing that God cannot do. So always put trust in God, and your life will be moving from grace to grace. Thank you very much. Stay glued and keep on watching NGTV and meet the marriage counselor number uno.
Thank you so much, dear Counselor Klaus. Keep connected. Next week we'll be back again. Thank you so much for this time. And of course, stay out of trouble. See you all again next week.